Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And man, we got a show here for you guys. Before we even get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you want today's full show before it drops on YouTube, it is streaming for free on the DREAMERSPRO podcast that we got pinned below. I expect Gilbert Arenas to do a live at some point this week responding to this video. So what happened? Yesterday, they had this heated debate. Yesterday, it all depends on when you're seeing this show. But today, on the 10th of January, they had a heated debate on Gil's Arena about, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and all of that, right? And during the conversation, at the beginning of it, I want you guys to follow this. People that struggle with logic are going to follow. People that struggle with logic are already confused. I want you guys to follow this logically so it makes perfect sense to you. They asked the panel the following question. They said, before we play it for you, okay, why is it that players, NBA players, always view Kobe in a different light than NBA fans and media? That was the question that was the first question that was posed. And Gilbert Arenas answered first. So what we want to do is we want to play what Gilbert Arenas said as his response to that original question. Take a listen to what Gilbert Arenas had to say here.
So GOAT debate is subjective. People have their pick. There isn't anything that will change a lot of people's minds, whether it's MJ, LeBron, Kobe, even Kareem. But Gil, why do players have so much more respect for Kobe and his contribution to the game than fans or media do?
Players are in the lion's cage with the lions, right? Media watches, right? So, when you have to guard someone, 43, 48 minutes, day in and day out, you know who's who. You know who's a killer, right? Your stats don't mean anything. It's not like you take in consideration double teams and triple teams, right? None of that factors in. It doesn't factor in how high a guy can jump, how fast he is, what type of engine he has, what is he working with, how is he starting this race. Media don't factor any of that in because if they haven't played, they wouldn't know, that this guy has if we're running a 100-yard race, he already at the 60-yard line when we start because, he got this engine. So for this guy to even get close, for this guy to even lose by 10 yards, in a sense, that is the win for us because the one guy had a 60-yard head start, right? So that's what we see as players, right? That's why when you hear players talk about other players, that's what's respected. Not what the media. We really don't care because y'all are just looking at stats. Y'all don't have no feel for it. Y'all don't understand it. Y'all have never sat in front of that guy and see how hard it is to guard.
So you heard what he had to say. Let me reiterate his point so people don't get confused here. Gilbert Arenas' response was simply this. Players, we evaluate other players differently than fans and media. Stats don't matter to us. What we evaluate is, from our experience and all of those different things. We don't view it through the prism of stats. Now, Rashard McCann also said that the only way we are having this conversation about LeBron being better than Kobe or LeBron being better than Mike is by using stats. He was responding to Gilbert Arenas, then turning around and then what? Trying to use stats, something he said that players don't use to evaluate other players. So for those of you who didn't hear that, I want you guys to now try to listen to him use stats. The same Gilbert Arenas says he doesn't use stats. I want you guys to listen to him here trying to make an argument to defend LeBron against the greatness of Jordan by using stats. Take a listen to Gilbert Arenas here.
But the question is this. When does reality kick in when we're having debates, right? Before Michael Jordan, there was someone on top, right? Whoever that was, they got pushed the out. if Kobe's number 2, before he was number 2, who was number 2? Right? Mm-hmm. They had to get put in. He had to move somebody out. So it ain't on anyone's name because you don't mention them anymore or they move. Like Kobe was the next Jordan, right? He was the next Jordan. He was compared. There was times where he said, I'm 1A, he's 1B, right? The reason he's not in the GOAT debate anymore is because they have LeBron as the definite 2. Right, so there's no if they move Kobe to 3 in the debate, there's no point of even having that conversation because he can't collect stats anymore. So his stats ain't collectible anymore. So whatever his stats are, whatever his resume is, it's stopped. So if someone caught him, that's who gets put into the GOAT debate, just like when Kobe, whoever was in front of Kobe and he caught him, they don't talk about 3.
So Michael would have been pushed out there, correct?
If someone caught him.
No. Because Kobe caught him and passed him. So he would have been pushed out.
What year did anybody say Kobe was number 1?
I'm not saying by your metric, what you just said.
I just said that.
You said when Michael came in, he had to push somebody out. Mm-hmm. Then here come Kobe. So who would get pushed out if Kobe comes in? Michael.
Number 2.
That means
who was number 2?
No, I'm not saying number 2. If Kobe comes in as number 2,
how did he came in the league as number 2?
No, man, I'm just saying in the conversation.
Okay, but what I'm saying is think about what I'm saying. If Michael Jordan is in the 90s, number 1, who's number 2 in the 90s of all time?
Doesn't matter.
It does.
I'm saying what you just said.
It does. So listen to what I'm saying. If this is Jordan, who's number 2? Because Kobe ain't in the league yet when Jordan's number 1. So who's number 2? That means whatever Kobe did.
Number 2? Okay, so if you don't even know who number 2
Wilt, whatever, Magic, whatever.
They all got pushed out, right?
They got pushed out by Kobe.
No, they got pushed out by Mike.
No, Mike was he was number 1.
Who was number 1 before Mike?
They didn't have one. They didn't have a GOAT. They didn't have a GOAT yet. The first GOAT
so
and the
Wilt Chamberlain wasn't.
They didn't have.
Bill Russell wasn't.
They didn't have no GOAT.
Nobody. Kareem wasn't, because Kareem led the league in all-time points.
They didn't have a GOAT.
They didn't have a GOAT.
Why you think Kareem?
But that ain't what Isaiah Thomas said. So what you saying don't have no merit, because Isaiah Thomas said, Captain, when he walked in the room, we bowed.
Who?
Isaiah Thomas said it.
That's one person.
It don't matter about one person. He said we all came down. That's Cap. That's Cap when he came in. That's Big Cap. So when Big Cap stopped, it come in Magic and Bird. They didn't get the same kind of bravado, but then Mike comes in. Mike gets the bravado.
Okay.
Here comes Kobe. Now you just said that
if Jordan's in front, Cap is second.
But you said the collectible stats, because LeBron is still collecting stats. Mike's not collecting stats no more. So how is it that you say, okay, because Kobe's not collecting stats no more, we can push him out because here's LeBron, but Mike ain't been collecting stats since 2002.
And who passed him?
Kobe Bryant passed him.
When?
What do you mean when? When he passed it, Michael Jordan in the scoring list. Do you follow basketball?
Yeah, so the scoring
Okay. So what are you talking about? He passed him.
In the scoring list, that didn't put him in front of Michael Jordan of all time.
Oh my gosh. So how does it?
Michael Jordan.
So how does LeBron James get in front of Kobe Bryant all the time?
Because his metrics said he was a better player so far.
Excuse me? You talking stats?
How long?
You just said we're not talking stats. You just said we're not talking stats, Gil.
So you heard the exchange. Here's what I think. Gilbert gonna do a live, but Gil, you know I gotta keep it real. You know I gotta keep it real. We just talking ball. We gotta keep it funky, but I gotta keep it real. I think Gil had a slip up right there. I think Gil had a slip up. Here's what I really, really think. This is what I think. I could be wrong, but this is what I think. I think that if you ask Gilbert Arenas to say who are the 3 greatest basketball players of all time, he's going to say the following. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. If you ask Gilbert Arenas off that show in person, can you please rank those 3 players in order? Gilbert Arenas is going to say the following. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. That is exactly what Gilbert Arenas is going to say. Period. I can almost assure you that's what he's going to say. Do you know why I am saying that? For a few reasons. Number 1, Gilbert Arenas went on that show and said the following. When they asked him, what's the best basketball player you ever seen play basketball? That was the question. Gilbert Arenas with his own 2 lips said, Kobe Bryant. Now, I get roasted because they were talking about all I watch is Jordan highlights. Let me for the sheep in the back. I was born in 1987. If you expected me to start watching basketball when I was 2 years old, then you're an idiot. I didn't watch Michael Jordan play. In 97, I was 10 years old. I just started following the NBA, in 1999. I came back from Sierra Leone as a kid when I was, 96, 97. I was in Sierra Leone because my mom's from West Africa. Born in the States, but I went there for some years. So how else could I see Michael Jordan play? So you saying that, what does that make you sound like? An idiot. I watched Jordan highlights and game footage of the highlights. Let me ask you a question. How else would you watch other players that you weren't old enough to watch? Y'all are idiots. These guys that say, y'all are super fools. Were you old enough to watch Bill Russell play? No, I wasn't. He got me. How come he got you? Because I can't reason properly. Oh, you watch it. Sheep syndrome, man. We need to get you guys some hay or some grass or something. I don't know what to say to you guys. But anyway, if you ask Gilbert Arenas, I think he would say those three players. Now, let me get back to the point. The question then becomes, so they asked him, they said, who's the greatest basketball player you've ever seen? He says Kobe. Then they asked him, who's the GOAT? Now, I was getting roasted for forgetting my top five, but Gilbert Arenas doesn't seem to know who the GOAT is. What? I've heard Gilbert Arenas say Michael Jordan's the GOAT. I've heard him say LeBron is the GOAT. I've heard him say Kobe Bryant is the GOAT. So which one is it? Which one is it? Here's what I think. And I could be wrong, Gil. You could correct me. You can do a live and let me know. But what I think is this. I think Gil thinks Michael Jordan is the greatest player ever. I think that he thinks Kobe's number 2, but he has to say LeBron is number number 2, because he wants to cater to you younger guys. Because y'all burst into tears in the comment section if somebody doesn't say that. That's why. I think he's trying to save you guys from your emotions. I don't believe that. I don't believe he believes that at all. I don't believe it. I don't. I've asked him myself, who's the better offensive player? He says Kobe. Who's the better defensive player? He says Kobe. Who's more clutch? He says Kobe. Who's better? He can't give me an answer. He knows that. He knows that. He's like, what are we going to go by the eye test? Well, how else are we going to evaluate players? How else can you if you're not using your eyeballs? But who look better? You're watching him play. I'm sorry. You're playing against somebody. How are you evaluating? Man, this guy's really good. What is stats? Read them out to me. Man, he's amazing. Come on, stop. Stop. Of course you're using your eyes. What are you talking about? So to me, listen, I think that was a major slip up. I think Gil thinks this. He thinks Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. He thinks Kobe's the second greatest, and he thinks LeBron is. And the only way he can use LeBron is to use stats. The very thing he said he would not use. Right here in this video. And Rashard makes the point. That's the only way you can do it. Now, to me, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Jordan's the greatest ever. Period. I was watching Jordan. I'm beginning to wonder, like, what y'all be on when y'all be saying these things? I'm one of the few people out there with the balls to say, I don't think this debate is even close. I think that the only reason they have this debate is to have something to talk about. That is all. You could have a kangaroo that can play basketball very good, and they'll be comparing that kangaroo to Michael Jordan. It's just because they need something to talk about. And LeBron is playing. I can assure you of that. It's not close. I don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't see it. I don't see it. You can say it's 2. I think it's 2. Then if it's 2, it ain't a close 2. Like, cut it out. Like, Jordan is he's way better. And to get Gil again with this, he tried to use stats again. Gil also said that we were already considering Michael Jordan. To me, he said on the show, we were already considering, or I think on another show, he said, we were already considering Michael Jordan the greatest player ever after 18,000 points. That's what they were saying. They were already considering him the best ever after he scored 18,000 points. So then how all of a sudden now it became about stats when you yourself said it's not about stats. But just to keep LeBron fans from boo-booing in their diapers, you got to bring up stats. your argument came back to bite you in the butt. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.